created a directory for this semester. We called it Summer 2. It's inside 2017, so let's go into that directory, Summer 2. There's nothing in there, and I'm going to clone this repository, or if you prefer to fork it, that's fine too. I'm going to clone it. So here we're going to clone that repo. It's going to fetch the entire repository, and there it is, webdev Northeastern. You're welcome to rename it. Right? Actually, I think I asked you to please rename it. Right? That's your last name dash your first name dash webdev. Right? That will help the TAs and myself to clone it down, and once we have a copy of it, we'll know whose work it is. Right? And this is the master branch. The master branch is it's last semester's work where we ended up. I created a different branch for this particular group, okay, and I called it 2017 Summer 2. Okay, so I'm going to check out that branch. I'm going to switch over to that branch. I think I called it checkout. I think it was 2017. Summer 2. Okay. This is a little reduced version of the same repository, right? And it doesn't have quite as much stuff in here. One of the things you'll need in Heroku is this file right here, the proc file, right? And it tells Heroku how to start your server. Right, what is the command? What is the file that needs to run to start your server? Our server is going to be implemented in server.js, server.js, right, which right now it's pretty simple. It doesn't have a lot in there, which is great. We don't want it to be complicated, and most of it we don't need anyway for now. Right? But the proc file is only for Heroku, and it just tells it that your server is started by running node on server.js. Right? So node space server.js, the way you would type it, run it at the command line. Okay? Right, so you need to add this one file for Heroku. If you're doing AWS or OpenShift, you don't need this file. It's other stuff. This is specifically for Heroku. All right? So I'm going to open this with WebStorm. So I'll say open, and let's see, NEU, 2000, no, go back, webdev, 217, Summer 2 is the one we just created, and I'm going to open that. So in here, let's go over this real quick. The entry point for your server is right here, server.js. Right? I'm going to go over what's in here from scratch in a minute. Other interesting directories in here are the public directory. Well, actually, that's the only interesting directory for now, just the public directory. And in there's only really one file that matters here is the index page. Again, this is the course web page. This is the landing page for the course. Right? If you want people to see what you've been up to, this is the page that you should direct them to. Okay? From here, they should be able to navigate to your project, your assignments, maybe a curriculum vitae if you want to put it in here, whatever. Right? And so this is your home page, website homepage. Your home page should have a picture of yourself, not required. Link to your assignments, link to your final project, Heroku, link to your GitHub, link to an optional 5-minute video demoing your project. That's also optional. Your homepage should look spectacular. You should feel proud to share your homepage with potential employers. Okay? And here are some examples of links to projects, lectures, and tests and whatnot, assignments. All right? So this you should replace, and it's worth 5%. Other notable content here, again, the assignment. This is the landing page for the assignment, which you're going to be working on next week, right? And here's the landing page for your project, which can either live here or it can live on a separate repository. Again, I always have a 50-50 split, right? 50 of you will, half of you will decide to leave it here, half of you will decide to have it as a separate repository. Either one is fine. Okay. If you decide to use a different repository, this would become the landing page of that other website, right? There's no need to put it under projects. Makes no sense, right? Because that's the only thing you have in there. Right? Here you have two directories because you're hosting two different things. Right? What else? I think that's it. Everything else here is irrelevant to you. The only other thing maybe worth mentioning is app. This little app here is for us to test that your database is in your remote server, right, is running. Okay, right? You need to test that this is working. So this little app.js, what it does is that it works locally. Right? If it finds this environment variable, it rewrites the connection string, right, to use the remote database. It connects to a database and allows you to insert, create new messages, delete messages, find all the messages from the database. This is only for the TAs and myself to be able to verify that indeed your database, remote database, is working. Okay? All right? So by the end of this week, this should work. That's the server side. On the client side, on the public directory, you have another test directory. See that? This is the client side of the test application. This is the server side, and this is the client side. Okay, it's a little tiny little Angular application, right? That gives the user interface for being able to add, remove, find things, and display all the messages. Okay, right? Do not touch this. Don't touch the application, right? You just have to make sure that it works by the end of the week. All right. What else? I think that's it. All right, the server.js. Let's start working on the server.js. All right. Okay. And for that, I will do it in a separate video.